for trying to foster your evaluation of self and where you're going. So many people doing such positive things.
Came to India to have a really different kind of educational experience, involved with a lot of really different kinds of people doing really different kinds of things.
Fellows have got a different mindset of thinking, so their ideas are really helping us for our school improvement.
Change might not happen tomorrow or the next day, and it might not happen while I'm here. But while I am here, I'll make sure that there's a catalyst for that change.
Welcome everyone to the Orientation in HR webinar for IDEX Fellowship and Social Enterprise. My name is Awatwol de Gabriel. I'm one of the marketing interns for IDEX and Gray Matters Capital. So let's get started. I just want to remind everyone that we are so excited as you're about to enter a new journey and embark on a new journey of a lifetime. But before we can get to the exciting part, we need to go through and review some important dates. So the duration of your fellowship will be starting on July 16th, 2012, ending in April 30th, 2013. And then that will, right when you get there on July 16th, it will start the Fellow Immersion Orientation, which will last to the 27th, and will followed by the Fellow Inspiration Conference, August 1st to the 3rd. So one thing that everyone loves to talk about is the stipends. The stipends is to defray your costs associated with housing, transportation, food, and supplies related to the fellowship. You are personally responsible for expenses you have beyond the allotted amount stipends. And also to note is that our stipends are paid on a quarterly basis. So here's a chart of the schedule of the stipend payment. The first one will be given on July 15th, the second one October 1st, January 1st, the third one, and April 1st, the last one. One thing to note is that the price of the stipends, the amount of the stipends, differs with the cities that you're living in because of the cost of living in different cities. So the cost of living in Hyderabad is less than the cost of living in Mumbai. Stipends will be distributed through direct deposit to your bank account if you complete your direct deposit form. If you don't want that, then your stipend will be issued to you via check mailed to the address provided by you. So it could either come straight to you, or we can give you a direct deposit. So you can get a check or a direct deposit. We think that direct deposit is easier. It will get there quicker to you, so you can do whatever you would like with it. If your bank charges wire transfer fees, we can reimburse you up to $100, but you have to complete the request for wire reimbursement form with proof of the fee from your bank. So on the PowerPoint is that is the form that is also found in your fellowship agreement. I want to say before we move on that on the lower right corner of this PowerPoint you can see the page numbers that you can refer to on your handbook and the fellowship agreement for more information. Taxes. GMC cannot and will not provide you with tax advice or filings. We encourage you to consult your financial or tax advisor if you have any questions or concerns regarding taxes. You are solely responsible for paying any or all required local, state, federal taxes and insurance with respect to any payment received hereunder. One thing that a lot of people have been asking about is student loan deferment. If you are a student that is coming from the US, you are eligible to request your student loans to be deferred under economic hardship category. And there is a link on page 7 of our handout that you can direct to that has a step-by-step direction on how you can do that. Code of conduct. One thing that we all agree on is respect has to be the main factor in it. So respect each other, and I think that we won't have any problems. Fellows are expected to fully participate in activities required as part of the IDEX program, which include any training provided or required by program during the fellowship term. All fellows are also expected to abide by and cooperate fully with the rules and policies set by their site mentors, fellowship sites, IDEX partners, and secondary project partners. I want to state again, you are required to understand, abide, and act in accordance with the Code of Conduct specified in page 24 to the 30th of your handbook. Frontier Medics. Frontier Medics, please note, this is not a travel or medical insurance. Fellows are responsible for obtaining their own medical or travel insurance if desired. GMC provides emergency evacuation insurance through Frontier Medics in the case of natural disasters, dangerous political uprisings, or life-threatening trauma where evacuation is deemed necessary by a doctor. So this is in no means a personal insurance that insures you to go to any medical services to get any medical services that you may need. But if you are injured or in an emergency situation, you may contact Frontier Medics for guidance, direction to the nearest medical facility or safe shelter. And this is the card that is located in the last page of your handbook. Carry this card with you at all times. It contains the phone numbers to call in the event of an emergency, as well as our policy ID number. I suggest that you make a copy of this card so you have one in the house, in your apartment, and one in your wallet. Emergency situations. In the event of medical or security emergency, the following procedures should be followed. Call Frontier Medics, provide them with the policy ID and group number. Be prepared to give them your name, date of birth, location, city, country, etc., and the name of the nature of the emergency. If it is a medical emergency and you are at the doctor or hospital, provide the doctor's name, treating facility, location, contact information, as well as information on your medical condition. If it is a security emergency, follow the procedures outlined in your emergency action plan, which will be given to you by your field coordinator and field manager. Be prepared to provide Frontier Medics with consent to release information on your condition to whomever you deem, along with their contact information. Contact your field coordinator to alert him or her of the situation. There's a more detailed outline of what the procedure should be on page 23 of your handbook. Medical information. GMC and IDEX will not disclose your medical records that you provide to us to anyone without your authorization. So without you filling out the authorization to release medical and health care information, we cannot let your mom, your dad, your parents, anybody in your family, or your husband or wife, we can't provide them with the information of how you're doing if something does happen unless you fill that form out. Housing. One thing to note is GMC has secured housing for 2012-2013 cohort. The monthly rent will be automatically deducted from fellow stipend payments before disbursement. Contact your field coordinator or field operation manager if you have any questions regarding the lease or housing. You should know your field coordinator and field operation manager by now. Vacation time. You will be able to observe the local holidays which are observed by your field placement and will not incur a salary penalty. So for some reason, if there's a holiday in Mumbai and your field coordinator is off that day, then you will be able to be off as well without a salary penalty. Each fellow will have a total of 10 days of paid time off, PTO, the acronym, during your 10-month stay. However, if you go beyond 10 days, then it will count on your stipend payment. And also note that if you are having a cold or if you have minor sickness like headaches, then that will count on your 10 days of PTO. It is very important that you communicate with your field coordinator about vacations and times off. Emergency leave. There's two kinds of emergency leave. We have initial emergency leave. Fellow may be granted 7 days of paid leave, and that is only for medical emergencies and family emergencies. This is what is the criteria of a medical and family emergency: life-threatening or terminal illness or injury, death, birth of a child, or a situation where the personal presence of the fellow is required to make new living or care arrangements for the affected family member. So if those describe your situation, then you can request a 7-day initial emergency leave. The other kind of emergency leave is the extended emergency leave. Fellows may request up to 30 days of unpaid leave. So this will be an unpaid opportunity for you to extend your emergency leave. It will be under the discretion of the IDEX staff member to allow such extended emergency leave. And the criteria for what constitutes emergency leave is the same as the initial emergency leave criteria. Now let's say that your emergency leave requires you to depart from IDEX early, or you for some reason decide to leave IDEX, then you can also do that. But we, out of courtesy, ask that you give us 30 days notice of your intentions to us and to your field coordinator. If you decide to leave during your payment quarter, you will be responsible for reimbursing GMC for prorated portions of the advanced stipend corresponding to the time that you will be leaving and not be a part of the IDEX program. And you can also call the HR department and set up and find out how much you owe GMC. Now, because of all the amazing work that you will be doing in India, there will be local news sometimes that would like to interview you, get comments from you, and such things as that. But we suggest and we require that fellows direct all media inquiries to GMC or IDEX staff member, or you can direct them or contact us at hr@idexfellows.com. Online postings. Just like the Code of Conducts, one thing that we focus on is respect when it comes to online postings. Please remember to be respectful, courteous, and mature with such online usage. The IDEX program and GMC reserves the right to remove any posting they deem as inappropriate from sites monitored or controlled by the IDEX program and GMC. So, important dates. Thursday, July 5th. 2012-2013 Fellowship Agreement with GMC is due. The 2012-2013 IDEX Fellowship Handbook, IDEX Direct Deposit Agreement Form, Request for Wire-Free Reimbursement Form, IDEX Emergency Contact Information Form, and IDEX Medical Release Authorization Form is all due on July 5th. These documents must be completed and signed by you and returned to GMC through DocuSign or other means, no later than Thursday, July 5th. Please note that we will not be able to process your stipend payment until we receive these completed forms. It is very important that we have all these forms so that it is easier for you and for us once you arrive in India. So, one thing that I would like to say is this is just an overview. Read your handbook and fellowship agreement. It has detailed information of what we covered in this presentation today. So all that being said, we want you to remember and get excited. This will be an amazing time for you. It will be a cultural immersion, and it will be a wonderful time for all of you. We want you to have fun and enjoy your time. But before we can do all those things, please remember these dates so that you can have a fun time and you don't have to worry about the paperwork later on. Thank you guys for joining us on this webinar, and we will see you soon.